All right, you never know how these things pan out, but a lot of protests are planned for the Trump inauguration. It's been that kind of a campaign year. Why would it not be that kind of presidential inauguration? The media is expected to give them a great deal of coverage, even though the media has sort of like a split view how it covers rallies and protests, like the Tea Party comes to mind.
Many in the established media, if they didn't cover this, they've identified you and others as fringe whack jobs. How do you feel about that?
Oh, definitely a patriot. I mean, I love my country, and I just think we're going the wrong way. We need to be responsible. We need to be able to pay for what we can buy. And if we can't buy it, we shouldn't expect someone else to buy it for us.
Two things on that. It's 2009, was it, Tom? Yeah. 2009. Could you find a more unflattering interview just of me? Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, run in slow motion. That's lovely. This was in Sacramento. But here's the thing about those rallies, and this is serious. I remember these people were portrayed as right-wing kooks. They were being called Nazis. Do you know what they wanted? They were really mad with their own party, to say nothing of the new president, Barack Obama. They were mad about spending going unaddressed, entitlements going just pell-mell anywhere they wanted to go. So they were collectively furious, all of them, at a Washington that was out of control. Yet they were deemed the nuts. And now some of these other protests, burning flags and throwing God knows what in the air, are the problem. The Tea Party forward chairman Niger Innis, who lived through a lot of that vilification and has the scars to prove it. It is interesting, you know, Niger, when I go back in time there, remember that the media characterization of those Tea Partiers versus the media fawning portrayal of those protesting Donald Trump couldn't be more different.
Oh, no question about it. And of course, remember, when it was predicted that Hillary Clinton was going to win this election, the conventional wisdom and the conventional thought was how crazy us Tea Partiers and us angry Trumpeteers, if you will, would be protesting the election of Hillary Clinton, and how we needed to, be good sports and not spoiled losers, et cetera, et cetera. And somehow that consternation that never came for our side is there's a deafening silence as these protesters are protesting a man who hasn't even taken office yet.
You know, the one thing that kind of grates on me here, and I would think this is the right and left, is they say, well, lost the popular vote, fifth president that's going to lost the popular vote. Having said that, we don't campaign for the popular vote.
That's right.
It's nice if it goes your way and you win the electoral vote and the popular vote, and 40 other presidents it has gone that way. But that's the system, and that's the way it is. And we came very close to that happening in reverse to John Kerry, who, if he had carried Ohio, even though he would have lost the popular vote, he would have won the electoral vote, and he'd be President Kerry. But we lose sight of that.
We do. Of course, that was in 2004 when Bush carried the popular vote,
right,
largely over John Kerry. Look, Donald Trump would have had a completely different type of campaign if this was just a sheer popular vote campaign. It would have been a quite different kind of campaign.
What would they do in that event, Niger? I mean, how would that be handled? I mean, obviously, people, if you don't like Donald Trump for whatever reason, you're going to find a way to vilify him. But how would it been different?
Well, I think Donald Trump would have campaigned in places like California. He would have campaigned in places like New York to reduce the gap, if you will.
So
Hillary just ran up the numbers. She wouldn't be running up the
vote in that case, or go to Texas where you could run up the vote.
That's exactly right.
I got you. But these protests are going to be big, we're told, at the inauguration. I don't know where the protesters are going to go. Most people protest very civilly and right. But it can get out of hand, and I've seen it go out of hand at past inaugurations. Ronald Reagan's comes to mind. But they're usually shouted down by the vast majority there to welcome a new president, whether they voted for the guy or not. How do you think it's going to go January 20th?
Look, who knows? I look to Cleveland, though, and I looked at the degree to which the Trump team worked hand in glove with Ohio law enforcement that came in from all across the country and had a pretty tame convention in terms of the protests. They were kept under a lock and key control, and I suspect that that's going to be the case in Washington. I'll let you know from the scene, Neil. I plan to be there.
And I plan to be there with you and hope to grab you. Niger, always a pleasure. Thank you. I hope you have a Merry Christmas.